everybody, this is Lisa Grunden, and we are traveling in an RV that we borrowed from my parents. We packed up all of our stuff. We got a house in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're relocating my business, we're relocating my hubby, we're relocating all of our stuff, and of course, most importantly, all of our dogs, who are acclimating quite well to this trip. As you can see, they're all doing pretty well. Anyway, we borrowed this RV, and let me tell you, I've never ever driven a vehicle this large before, and it's been, at first it was a challenge because it was really scary, because the very first time I drove it was yesterday, and there we are on the road. Just we were in Illinois at that point in time, so we're traveling through the US, and there's just so many beautiful things to see. In every state has its own unique beauty, and I just want to come up here to the front into the passenger seat where you can kind of sort of see some of this really gorgeous scenery that I'm looking at as we're traveling. So the dogs are loving their bird's eye view, their dog's eye view of everything. And you know, the motorhome she handles really well. It's just a matter of getting used to something a little bit different. So it's like a challenge. It's like a challenge that all of us face from one time or another, whether in business, if it's making cold calls or doing sales follow-up, if we're doing a power hour, if we're doing some other kind of strategy, whenever we're pushing past our comfort zones. And let me tell you, getting into this RV the very first time, driving it, was a little scary, and the second time not so much. So the third time I actually drove her through the mountains, where we go up and we go down and up and down, and fortunately my hubby over there was driving when we had the 5% downgrades. So it's just, I mean, it's really God's country out here. It's just so incredibly beautiful. And you know what? So it's just driving a motorhome, which to me is a big deal. To me, it was a big deal. I mean, it's what, 40 feet long, and we're towing our Jeep behind, and you know, it's just another step in the journey that says nothing is ever as scary as we think it is. Nothing is ever as scary as it is in our mind. And even when things are scary as we're doing them, they're still, you know, when we practice strategies, when we practice keeping our word, when we practice, you know, doing things. I mean, let's face it, my hubby could not drive a journey of 1,080 miles all by himself. I had to do some of the work, because so far the dogs, they haven't gotten their license just yet. We're working on it, but I'm pretty sure that even if they did, they would go squirrel and we would be shot. That was just a little humor on my part. I don't really think that dogs can drive. Anyway, so what thing is in your way? I'm curious. I want to know. In business, what is it that you think is so big that prevents you from taking it to the next level? Because me, I would have been really happy. Just me and my dogs and my hubby and my Jeep. We wouldn't have been able to carry very much. It wouldn't have been very comfortable. Not like this big RV is. And I would have been totally cool with it. And I might have been going through these mountains at 70 miles an hour instead of 50 or 55, which is what we've been traveling. Because trust me, in a vehicle this large, 70 is way too fast for me going down the hills. So anyway, you know, we're just doing it. In the 7 years my husband and I have been together, we have lived, I think, 12 places. I think we've lived 12 places, and we've been living out of suitcases for a very long time. And so my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, Helen and Sean Allshouse, were kind enough to pack up our stuff that was in storage in New York and put it on the truck yesterday. My hubby and I worked frantically all week to get everything finalized so that we could put it on a truck in Wisconsin. And for the first time we have a house, and the first time in our lifetime together, we have a place that we're not going to be living out of a suitcase. And that's pretty exciting. Because, you know, it was a lot of fun being on the road. It was a lot of fun traveling through suitcases. It was a lot of fun living in different countries, living in different states. And now the travel that we do will still be for business. However, a lot more of it will be for fun too. So what are you up to on this beautiful Sunday right before the 4th of July? What are you doing? What fun are you having? What milestone did you decide to push today? Because let me tell you, if you get a chance to drive an RV, go for it. You're going to break through a lot of comfort zones and a lot of boundaries. So until next time, I'll probably check in again, maybe before we get to North Carolina, but definitely when we get there. So you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.